Press. I'm joined for that by Nicholas Rushworth. Good morning to you, Nick. You're starting off with a website today, in fact, Mediapart.
I am, yeah. The website Mediapart is better known for its revelations about the Bettencourt scandal in 2010. That was the L'Oréal heiress scandal. Today, it has a feature story on people from teaching assistants to delivery men in small towns and villages in the Paris region, a few dozen kilometres from the city centre here. Now, that paper is arguing they are feeling forgotten and angry in this presidential election campaign. They say they're earning less, the cost of living is too high, their children are struggling. And that's working in favour, the Mediapart says, of the far-right National Front, Marine Le Pen, of course. And one quote I saw in that piece is, well, we've tried the right, we've tried the left, so why not try Marine Le Pen now?
Okay. And one of the election issues, or at least coming up election issues, is this so-called social VAT, which has been mooted by President Sarkozy as a way of helping fund the social security system.
Well, it's not a trip down the pub and a whip round. Social, such a difficult word for us to translate. The TVA social, the social VAT, does it come down to simply an extra tax? The communist paper, L'Humanité, leads that almost 2 out of 3 people there, 64% of the French are saying a massive non to Nicolas Sarkozy's plans to introduce this new VAT. Now, the editorial in that paper says the bosses in France wanted this measure so that they could pay lower charges, and the president fell into line with their demands. Jean-Paul Pierrot in that editorial is saying that the French have been able to see the scam, débusquer l'arnaque. And I'm going to turn to the left-wing daily, Libération, which is also looking at this social VAT. And there you can see an interview with an economist, Nicolas Bouzou, who backs Sarkozy's measure. He says that it will reduce the cost of hiring. The economist there is saying the measure is needed urgently. He warns, though, that it is not a miracle solution.
Okie dokie. It's still a few months, of course, until the presidential election here in France. The winter holidays are just over, and the gloves have come off in the fight between these two.
Yeah, the right-wing Le Figaro is targeting the Socialist Party's presidential candidate on its front page, François Hollande. The headline there, Le Grand Flou, saying he's fuzzy on policies on retirement, education, nuclear power and taxation. Now, a piece in that paper is reporting on the ruling UMP accusing the Socialists of debasing the debate. Now, that all centres on this row over a personal attack François Hollande is said to have made about his rival Nicolas Sarkozy. Now, it's stated Hollande described to journalists that the president was a sale mec, a nasty piece of work.
We've translated that as a nasty bit of work, yeah.
Absolutely. Hollande didn't say that his comments, though, were off the record, so the journalists went ahead with a bit of a scoop for them. The insult drew outrage from the right, of course. Le Parisien, aujourd'hui en France, today in France, has a piece on that too. The war of words there, you can see it, La guerre des mots. Now, it was that paper that reported on Hollande's lunch with journalists. And actually, today it's saying, well, the row is really same old, same old. It's just the same thing we're used to in election campaigns. One party or another leaps on at any opportunity to portray itself as a victim, and then they go on the counterattack. Now, the UMP counterattack is reported in today in France this morning, and it's saying that Hollande is, get this, a non-entity. The boy is indecision itself. So I think that's trading insults pretty good.
I think it's time to move on from this this particular issue. Nick, finally, in Le Monde, quite an interesting piece there about France's elite school, ENA, the school which you have to go to run the country.
INA, the ENARC, the National Administration School, or the Polytechnicien, École Polytechnique, those schools are for being an engineer or for government posts. Now, that piece there is saying that normally they go through life picking the juicy jobs, but now they face the dole queue in this crisis, the crise, and they're talking about career transition. And the cartoon in that piece is saying, one person from one of these top schools is saying, I'm currently in a professional repositioning phase, and I would like a proactive exchange with one of your headhunters at this recruitment centre, if you please. And so that kind of joke is that this is not quite the language you need. You've got to be less wooden to sell yourself in this world these days.
Life getting tougher even for the NR. Nick Rushworth, thanks very much for that roundup of the French press. Just going to remind you of the world news headlines now, and ratcheting up the press